All right, everyone, welcome to the panel by Pat Contri at Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2019. Thanks for making it upstairs. Thanks for being with me, and my voice is barely being held together with duct tape and glue right now. You guys having a fun weekend? Yeah! What are some of the cool stuff you guys bought? Shout it out, 3, 2, 1. I heard a certain SNES guidebook. Do you mean this one right here? That one? Ooh.
Castlevania 4
wow.
Nintendo Power.
Castlevania 4 Nintendo Power? I had that one as a kid. Who here has not ordered the superhero guidebook? Anyone? No? So this is I was thinking about yesterday how many years I've been here. This is my 10th Portland Retro Gaming Expo this year. I started in 2010. Back when I was at the DoubleTree Hotel under the parking garage, where it was like 95 degrees inside. And anyone here was at that event in 2010? You were? Anyone else? Were you at my panel then?
Yeah.
You remember like how it was dripping sweat on like just rainfall? It was brutal. But it was fun because it was right before, retro game collecting was still kind of niche in 2010. It didn't blow up like it did probably after like 2012, 13. It started getting hotter. So a lot of stuff was cheap. There wasn't a huge amount of people. It was maybe like 300 people maybe there the whole weekend, maybe a little more. And now there's like 10,000 people here. And no, it's been a trip the last 10 years. And I'm always loved Portland Retro Gaming Expo. They were like the first convention to have me out as a guest. Were like, hey Pat, I want you to come out. I'm like, oh, cool. Back then, and I did my Mr. Gimmick video. I premiered it there. Back when the NES Punk was a little more regular than now. It's like a commercial for some sort of medicine making more regular. Anyway, more regular back then, some yogurt commercial. Activia. Anyway, so yeah, it's great to be back here, and lots of stuff happened the past year. The book came out, or is coming out. It is out. The documentary, not for resale. It was supposed to be here, but the Blu-ray is a little delayed, so that's going to come out in Blu-ray. Are you guys familiar with the not for resale at all? I'll show a clip of it real quick if you're not familiar with it. But that was on Indiegogo over 2 years ago. They came out here 2 years ago, showed a lot of footage, a lot of interviews. They came back last year, did some pickup shots, and now it's going to come out. And it's about the death of physical media as it relates to video games, and the threat that poses to like mom and pop game stores, but also how the industry has changed, the video industry going to digital. And it's not all bad, there's a lot of positives. But this clip I'm going to play right here, which we can record this clip. This clip is going to be about the changed threat clip. That's the clip. If you're here last year, you saw this clip. I'm going to show it again because it's on my little folder here for this. So let's show this one right here.
I think when you buy digital, there's always, at least for me, a little bit of hesitation of like, okay, well, if I buy this now and I delete it, am I gonna get it back? Am I gonna be able to download it again? Is that license still gonna be mine? And I think now, obviously, because it's been around for a while, most of those fears are gone.
There's a lot less flexibility with digital media because it's attached to either the physical system itself or your account.
Very often, people, when trading in their games, will, say enthusiastically that it's like, oh, I have this game and this game on the system, and that doesn't really add tangible value to the thing. Those digital downloads are tied to some account. It's not a licensing that's transferable. It's not an artifact that can be passed from one hand to the other. Yes, you have those things, but now no one else can.
Downloading has no value. They bring in systems and are like, I have 50 games on this. How much are you going to give me? Nothing. I'm going to give you the same price as if you had nothing on it.
Man, remember when video games required a manual? Remember when you couldn't finish that cartridge-based game unless you had the manual because there was a certain bit of information that was only in the manual? That's something that I think is not happening so much in video games these days. The ingenuity involved are the crazy. creativity, involved in developing a game or creating a certain special situation in a game that requires you to think outside of the game itself is sort of waning a little bit. That's not happening as much.
They have like the remake of MGS1 for the GameCube, the Twin Snakes, which is made by Silicon Knights, I believe, which was an Ontario studio at St. Catharines, which is kind of cool. It's in the game. At one point, you're asked to call this character, and Snake asks, like, how do I know a number? And the Colonel like breaks the fourth wall by telling you to look at the back of the case.
There's a code that you need to put late game that is only on the back of the box or inside the menu.
I try really hard not to be, an old person who thinks that something was better in the old days, but the one concession I give myself is that with infinite choice, I don't think that young people are being forced to expose themselves to media that they maybe isn't their first choice. When I was growing up, I didn't have cable TV, we had like 5 channels, and I might watch a weird movie or some bad TV show that wasn't necessarily my first choice, but I would get something out of it, or I would discover, things through being forced to be exposed to something that was older or weird. I think that you become a more well-rounded, interesting, creative person if you're exposed to media that isn't pushed onto you necessarily by people with corporate interests.
It used to be like a 1 gigabyte download was an incredible amount of time and effort, and you could probably pop down to the Best Buy and buy the game before you could finish downloading it at home. So I think, broadband accessibility and adoption was a major driver of that.
I have a lot of problems with, whenever I buy a new game, it always has to update the software, and it's just like an hour to wait for that. And the most recent thing I played was Zelda Breath of the Wild. It starts up, there's the blue bar, it says like software update. The blue bar finishes, then it starts again. And that is blue bar number 2. And then after that, it does it again. There's three blue bars of software updates that I had to wait through. I do miss just putting in a game and then it just starts, like that's it.
We still have developing nations where internet connections might be iffy or not even nationwide. I can go download a game that's 1 gigabyte pretty quickly. If I'm living somewhere where you don't have the internet connection, pretty impossible to do that. What about the military? If you're in a forward operating base in Afghanistan, internet might not be the best to get a new game. There's parts of the US in the sticks that don't have the best internet. You might be pro-digital distribution living in Silicon Valley, maybe not somewhere in West Virginia.
I have a lot of people that still don't have internet. They live in an area that just can't get high-speed internet. It's not fast enough, it cuts out. I live in a valley and there's no signal. Even places that you would think have high-speed internet do not. The road I live on, I take this issue kind of personally because I can't get high-speed internet where I live. My house is on a double yellow line. And so it's not like I'm on a gravel road or a single lane little dirt road out in the country, I've had so many people say that they don't have internet that they need to update their console and things like that I actually have a TV set up here. I had this extra space here, I had an extra TV, I was like, let's put this up here for people that need to update their console. If they don't have access to high-speed internet, they can update, download their DLC. Some people will bring their Xbox in, set it up, start the updates, hand me the controller behind the counter, hey, I'll be back, and go to Walmart.
I honestly still get a lot of customers that don't have solid internet at home. So even selling an Xbox One console, for instance, you actually need the internet initially to set up the system at all. So we'll actually do a lot of setups here in the store for the customers so they can get their system ready to play whenever they get home instead of being frustrated that they can't set it up at all because they don't have, a good internet connection.
People will call me and they're like, is the TV open so I can update? And yeah, it's open, come on now. This has gotten a lot of use in that aspect.
That's just a small sample, not for resale. Which will be on, if you're Patrick Indiegogo, you get a Blu-ray, and then also be on Amazon. Not Prime, you got the we can make some money back on this. Pat's gonna make his investment back, and so it'll be for sale or rent on Amazon. Hopefully by like December. And then we're really gonna try and get distribution, you know, maybe we'll show up on cable or what have you. We'll see. Maybe not Netflix, but anyway, it'll be seen by lots of people. Anyway, so yeah, that's one of the things I'm working on. Obviously, the podcast is still going strong. You guys go to the podcast panel yesterday. Lots of fun stuff happened there. You know, getting attacked by people working on new consoles is fun. Things like that. So we got a video to show a bit later. Maybe we do a Q&A right now. You know, so any questions about me and my projects, or collecting, or my nice name tag that's written out. It's punk style. It's written and scribbled on there. Yeah. Any questions about anything? Yes.
Do you think you'll bring back the video game years, like in the 90s?
Will we bring back the video game years in the 90s? Probably not. In the format that it's in, it's pretty dated. That sort of green screen look. And the fact of the matter is, it's a miracle that show even came out. I mean, it was made for almost nothing. No one was really paid that much. The editors weren't paid that much. I wasn't paid to work on it. What's that?
I know something now, because I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't see any money until it got on Amazon Prime like months later, after YouTube. And it's just John D'Elia from Retro Bear, if you know him. He was the co-producer, co-director, so me and him worked hand in hand on it for years. And he, you know, he's at a full-time job. He moved from Connecticut to Michigan. He works for General Motors or Chrysler. Is that the same thing? I don't know. So he's got a family, he's got kids, and I just don't see it being feasible now. We're all older, we have more projects going on. Big but, and I will not lie, I do want to do more documentary style content about video games. So I have the idea for a project that would look at the history of video games, but not in the way the video game years does. It'd be a little more polished, more edutainment, because that VH1 style, I love the 80s styles, is not in vogue anymore. That's like 10 years outdated right now. So it would be something a little more polished and professional if I did another documentary. But it'd be a much bigger scale than that. Because that, while it looks professional for YouTube, it's still not to, like, you know, I want it to look like something you would find like on Netflix or something like that, if that makes sense.
Newer standard.
What's that?
Newer standard.
A higher standard, yeah. My voice keeps higher right now. Yes.
Me?
Yes.
I love you, man. I'm curious, like, what would you like to see in a proposed new video game console? Like, what would make you stoked about it? Because, I mean, we've all heard a lot about what, you know, upsets you.
Sorry, I was searching for a Halls drop right now. What would I want to see in a new game console?
What would people, like, what would make you, like, be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to throw down on the Indiegogo campaign?
Well, I bought the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, like, let's say like an indie, not Nintendo, like just somebody coming out of nowhere. I'm just curious, like.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, a console's not only as good as the software, right?
Yeah.
So, what can an indie console bring to the table that one of the big three manufacturers, whatever, companies, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, what could they do that those companies can't?
Give you a ride in a Ferrari?
I can ride in a Ferrari by the guy who runs the company. That's the thing. So, when you're talking about I want a new console, what you're really saying is I want to play games differently than the other consoles, because what can they provide? They can't provide games that are going to be that much better or different than what's out there already. Because as we say in the podcast, like now the PS4 and Xbox One are basically PC consoles. They're basically PCs, right? So you have the Switch, which is doing their thing, you know, which is Nintendo first-party games. It's also third-party games. You know, that's not portable. You put it on TV, so that's different. What else different do you want at that point? What else is out there when you think about it? And to get back to the Ferrari person, you know, doing an Intellivision-looking console 40 years later, that's not the answer. It's not the answer. So it's really finding the marketplace. What's like even like VR. if you want to look at VR as a different platform, technically, that never really took off. That was the hot thing, what, like 3-4 years ago? Do you hear about VR that much anymore?
Yeah, okay. No, I see what you're saying.
Facebook bought it for, what, $3 billion? What was it? You didn't make your money back on that?
Doing okay, I heard.
It's doing okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying that we can't have something innovative in gaming anymore, but, I mean, it was supposed to be VR, and that wasn't it. 'Cause some people like it now. VR is like for watching videos and maybe some naughty stuff I hear people use it for. But, I don't know. Like, what would drive you to buy a new console? Like, what is it, what gets you to buy it? Because, I mean, Xbox One tried to integrate, we have voice and connect, and we use it as your media interface, and that flopped so hard they had an about face within like a few months on that. So every time these new consoles come out, they try to find a competitive advantage. But look what's happening with the new consoles. They're both going to have ray tracing, they're going to have awesome GPUs, they're going to have solid disk hard drives. That's it. That's your computer system, and that's what you get. Now wait for the software to come out for it to play. And that's what it is. It's not the 90s anymore, or the 70s or the 80s. It is what it is. It's depressing, right?
Okay. Yeah, no, I just hear your take.
I mean, you can get an Atari VCS, I guess, if you really want, and then enjoy the sandbox mode on it. Which basically means we're not going to have an operating system worth a damn on it. Yes.
So going back, what do you think the next thing for Nintendo is?
The Super Switch, I guess.
Do you think they'll stick with the Switch format now that they've got?
They just passed what? What was it in North America? It was 15 million in the U.S.
15 million.
15 million just in the U.S.
As of July.
And that's a little over 2 years in, which is incredible. Or 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years now. Yeah. So we're like halfway through a system lifespan. And what is it worldwide? Like 35 million or 30? So my predictions are 35 to 40. They're gonna blow past that, especially if you count the Switch Lite and other iterations. But they'll do upgrades. I mean, they just have the new re-release where the battery's better, so they're probably gonna increase the power of the console in the next iteration. Just like the Sony Microsoft consoles. Now it's like every 2 years there's a more powerful version. It's like upgrading your PC. Except you upgrade your PC, you don't throw out the whole thing. You upgrade pieces of it. So, yeah. It's interesting though that Nintendo will have to have a cutoff point where like they'll probably have like, Switch games up to this point in time will work on the old systems but not the new ones. You know what I mean? They'll probably get to that point in like 3-4 years, I guess.
After this year's program as well, would you invest in cough drops?
I invest money in cough drop documentary? Yes, I'll invest in cough drops. My parents got me sick, and then this didn't help. This.
The new analog product you covered in the podcast yesterday, do you think that would help you when you're going to conventions for the Play Punk Challenge with the dock?
So the analog poly for the Play Punk Challenge. Well, the Play Punk Challenge is NES games. Anyway, I guess if you put NES core, FPGA core, then you can do that.
Some portable system that would have a dock, that'd be easier for you.
I'm
what an indie creator could create.
Maybe. So you still gotta bring that. You gotta bring the dock. You gotta bring an extra controller. Honestly, what would be easier would be like a retro ABS. That retro USB makes that'd be easier. HDMI out. That'd be the easiest thing to do, to be honest. Thanks for plugging the upcoming segment. I'll do a few more questions. My voice is totally shuts down. Yes.
How's Frank? Where is he?
Frank's fine. He's in semi-retirement. He's gardening and watching the Yankees who just lost. Yes. He's probably sad about that. Yeah, but he's sort of, he's doing his own thing. He's getting older. He doesn't want to be involved in much stuff anymore. But I will be finishing up Flea Market Madness next year. I'll edit the last episodes and put them out like once a week. Like Flea Market Madness Friday. It'll be like once a week for like 3 months, and that'll be it. Because I don't go to the swap meet anymore. There's less for me to buy. I don't want to buy any more crap and have it in my garage or store it. But they're fun videos, I get it. Maybe streaming live on Twitch would be the way to go for Flea Market Madness. Maybe. Yes.
Who do you like in the World Series?
Who do I like? What is it, Astros and the Nats? I guess the Nationals, I don't care. I like National League. American League's like softball. The DH is a BS thing, I'm sorry. A few more questions? Yeah.
Getting back a little bit to the downloads thing, like with comments and stuff. I regularly see like things that are like 20 or 30 gig downloads day one, but they just didn't patch all the bugs in. Do you think it would ever be a viable talking point if they announce like, hey, trying to make it quality where the games work the first time right out the package so you don't have to do that stuff, or is that just not would be?
Games work first time out of the package with like no downloads?
Yeah. Do you think that would ever be
Well, when you got hard release dates, things fall through the cracks, right? I mean, it's just reality.
Yeah.
So it's easier to patch it. Once the game goes gold, you still got a few weeks to, do your patches. By the time it gets to the stores and what have you, that's not going to go away. I mean, that's just reality. I mean, that was the Coleco Chameleon sort of selling point. These games would be bug-free. No such thing as a bug-free game. It just isn't anymore. There never was. They pretend that the NES games are bug-free. Have you ever played those games? There's tons of bugs in those games. So, any other questions? Any about the NES Punk or anything? No? Lisa.
I have a question. With streaming getting, bigger and a lot of people are doing that, PlayStation and Xbox are already set up, you can stream right from your console. Do you think maybe the next iteration, because you have to upgrade your Switch and the TV and the PC, do you think maybe the next console, they might follow that suit since a lot of people are doing it more and more and have their system set up since a lot of people started going that way?
For the Nintendo system?
Right, because I see people doing it, but you gotta upgrade your Switch.
Yeah, Nintendo was always worried about that. That's why they don't like having the voice. They're always afraid of kids getting into trouble or doing weird stuff. I think that's probably what's holding them back. And Nintendo's just always slow to move anyway in this stuff. I mean, the last few years they've taken leaps and bounds forwards about, no longer cutting down on, YouTube videos. They don't do that as much anymore, and they're slowly coming around. But I still think they're sort of like 3 years behind everyone else. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It makes sense. It's supposed to be a hassle to go through the extra steps to do that, right? Well, all the other consoles you don't have to do that.
It is, and then you gotta worry about the lag that comes through because it's going to the TV and
Yeah.
PC, so it just.
Damn it, Nintendo. Yes.
Do you think there's any meat on the bone left in terms of people creating content about the classic NES games, or do you think that all of those are basically redundant now? Do you think everyone's pretty much...
There's always meat on the bone, but you got to do it the original way. You got to do it in a higher quality way. You can't just have gameplay going and then you talk over it. This isn't 2009 YouTube. You got to do something like Scott DeWaz, who's smart and funny and fresh. Do something like Norm, where it's edutainment. Do something with some research. The issue is YouTube, though. The issue is can you do high quality content that takes enough time and energy and money and make that back through YouTube? That's the bottom line. And some can do it. You need Patreon, though. I don't know if people like Norm could exist without Patreon or other creators out there, because it's just tough to get traction, especially with how the algorithm is now, where evergreen content doesn't matter anymore as much. Old videos don't get recommended as much as they used to, where now it's you got to be in the cycle, you got to be in the outrage cycle or what have you. Your videos are seen for 2 or 3 days, and after that, no one sees them again. That's basically what YouTube is now, unfortunately. They are looking at changes from what I know, from what I've heard. They are trying to change it. They are aware of some weird issues out there, but it's still not what it was even 3 or 4 years ago. If I do an NES Punk video tomorrow, it will not get the views it did 3 or 4 years ago. It just won't. It just won't. And yeah. So, yeah.
So with the rise of all the homebrew NES games, do you see that being a new market in the future? Because the original library has been examined to death and on the internet stuff?
There's always people that collect the homebrew NES games, but...
You follow that? You see that as
No, I mean, there's enough of the old games to collect. I mean, there's just so many of them. And not that the homebrew games are bad, but...
Did you ever do an episode about homebrew games or anything?
maybe I will. I have enough homebrew games I can do an episode about, but the fact of the matter is that the homebrew games are usually made by one person, maybe two, and they're just not nearly as complex or as clean or as professional as games by developers 30 years ago that had like teams of people working on them that were so experienced. And not to say there aren't good games, and there are, but it's just not the same class of game from A example to A example. That's all.
I see people sometimes try to scout them.
Yep. Well, can't get rid of our fun scalpers. So, you want to see a preview of a new video?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. It's first 5 minutes. It's going to come out in November.
Nice.
Are you serious? What the fudge? I'll try a VLC player.
Yeah.
You're not on YouTube.
Yeah, on the internet. Yeah. Come on, Schwartz. Come on. There we go. Well, hold on a second. I got rid of this stupid thing. What the hell, malware bites? What is this?
Should have upgraded, bro.
At least it's not McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Enjoy, everyone.
How are you possibly enjoying this? This title is very important. It was one of the first one-on-one fighting games. But it's impossible to play. Easier to play the roller rocker with your feet cut off. In Karate Champ's defense, the arcade game had a unique control scheme using dual joysticks to both move and attack. Hey, how do you like these dual joysticks? This is shit. Hey, keep up that tone, mister. Maybe someone will get their premium gift Karate Champ t-shirt. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'd rather wear a poncho made of fruit bat turds. How do you do that? Well, you have to dry them and prime them first. I think you'd rather wear that, but all right. What are we doing? It's the same routine with us year after year. All this bickering over old games. Games I think are pretty good, but then you just go and shit all over them. Yeah, I haven't shit on one in a whole 3 weeks. I mean literally. And by the way, thanks for reading my copy of Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat. Hey, I'm not going to stop reviewing awful games. That's what I do. I'm sorry, you're right. It's very important. Reviewing games for society, these 35-year-old games, very important for the culture. I'm just being cranky, I'm begging you. Can we please stop playing this? This is a quality game. You just have to learn the combat system. Huh? Combat? Yeah, combat. Combat? Yeah, it's a fighting game. Combat. Yeah, you use your fists. Oh, combat. Wait, are we talking about that old-ass game on that console that nobody cares about or even remembers anymore? Combat. Knock it off. Knock off combat? Ah! You know what, nerd? I'm a little bit tired of... What? What the hell's wrong with you? It's that dumb combat thing. I hate it. It reminds me of when you smashed the NWC cards. Ah, memories. Are you flashing back? That was so traumatic, but then you revealed to me it was all just a trick. Remember that? Cannon, combat. Knock it off! Where is your fucking goddamn sense of humor? I'm warning you, stop it. Ah! Well, you're acting like somebody shoved a Sega Genesis up your ass. Sega CD and 32X attachments on it. The controller was combat. You didn't see it?
I think it's this dumb Karate Champ game, broaden your brain. Maybe pick a good game and you won't be acting like a loon.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I've been a little burnt out lately. Let's play something else. Let's play this one.
Oh yeah, that one. That one only makes me throw up a little tiny bit in my mouth.
Now you're being reasonable. What? What's going on? My hair? I saw it! Combat! You saw it too? Yeah, combat! You know, the tanks? Pew, pew, pew! Look! More combat! My fucking Frogger! You're Street Fighter 2 on the PCs, now combat!
I was on the PC.
I had it on the PC! I don't anymore! Everything's changing into combat! Look at this! I don't like combat this much! Can you at least change to something rare worth money? Yeah! What am I gonna do with these? Oh my god! It's changed too! It's even more reasonably priced now. Well, your Fury 2X needs are changing, but you know, that might be an improvement.
Yeah, that one's
What? No! What the hell?
Why can't this one change? All Atari gods out there far and wide, I apologize for insulting your name and brand over the years. The fact of the matter is, I enjoy a lot of your games. Centipede is fun, Missile Command, it's fine. I own the Atari Lynx. The Jaguar, well, let's agree to disagree there.
This shit always happens when you're around. Get out of here, Pat!
Gladly. And you're buying me a new Frogger mini tabletop arcade, too.
What do we got here? A couple of retro gaming ladies?
All right. You guys think it's gonna be good? That's like the first 45% of that, 50%. Not bad. All right, cool.
Nice.
Good way to come back.
Nice Danny Sullivan reference.
You like the Danny Sullivan reference? All right, so we got 10 minutes for the Play the Punk challenge. Let's switch to the NES. Huh? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, and that video will be out early November. Okay. That's not it. There you go. Yeah. All right, everyone. Time for the Play the Punk challenge. Yay. Yeah. That was the worst applause ever. Okay. All right, who hasn't asked a question yet that wants to do a Play the Punk challenge against for prize and fortune glory? Who wants to do it? Anyone? Why am I talking green? Because I have no voice. You with the green headband and you with the green members only jacket. Come up here. Yeah. Give him a hand, everybody. Why am I talking like this? All right, let's have a gameplay competition, huh? Well, we just saw Karate Champ. How about we do Karate Champion? Why not? This is a creepy voice right now. All right, what's your name? Ryan. Ryan?
Crystal.
Ryan and Crystal. You're going to fight each other to the death. All right? So hit start in like 5 seconds. Ryan versus Crystal. Ryan's player 1. Crystal's player 2. Go for it. All right, Ryan's in white. Crystal's in that nice cranberry red color. Very good.
Burgundy.
Burgundy? Oh, okay, Crystal. I'm not rooting for you anymore. All right. Oh, spinning kicks. Oh, the wrong way, Crystal. We're both the wrong way. Remember, it's dual joysticks in the arcade. Don't give me the finger here. All right.
How do you change reference?
Well, you figured that out, Crystal. Not so smart now, are you? Criticizing my colors. All right. Ryan, come on, Ryan. Oh my, this is bad. Come on. Where's the combat system? Combat. Stop. Who's better, Judge? Red. Oh, Crystal won that. All right, here we go. 1 point for Crystal. I think it's the first 2 out of 3 or first. Oh, missed the jump kick. Oh, a kick to the butt. Crystal has 1.5 points, it looks like. Ryan's feeling the pressure here. Come on, Ryan. She insulted me. You gotta, oh, missed the jump kick. All right, missed the look. Oh! Spinning, jumping backhand. All right. Wow. Where's the feminism at? Let's go. Equality. Come on, Ryan. You gonna take that? You gonna take that? Oh, nice backhand. Missed though. Oh, come on. Come on, Ryan. Rooting for you. Come on, get one hit. Stop. Who was worse there, Judge? That was terrible. Red. All right. Don't blame the game, Ryan. You didn't defend my honor. Crystal wins. Crystal, you get a choice between either. No, you stick around, Ryan. Your humiliation does not end. You get a download code of either the Super Nintendo book or the NES book. Which one would you like? NES or Super?
Oh, the Super.
Okay, here you go. That's a $30 value.
Woo, wait.
It's for my book, the one I always talk about. It's a download code.
It's like a voucher to get it?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
All right. This is a miniature representation that you use as a code. Thank you, Crystal. And Ryan, for your humiliation and mine, you're going to get a guy I can't stand, Roger Clemens, MVP Baseball. I'll beat you in hell, Roger, for throwing out my Piazza. Thanks, Ryan. Get out of here. All right, who's next? I'm going to play a bunch of time, like 2 more. Anyone? All right. You, sir? Come on up. Come on up here. Oh, man. Let's see what we got here. 10th year to play Punk Challenge. What's your name? Sam. Sam versus Kinlan. You have for Sam and Kinlan. We're gonna do something fun. We're gonna do some balloon fight. First to die dies. Well, you know, yeah, they're dead. That's how it works. Okay. Okay. 2-player game. Take your controller. What's your name again? Sam. Sam and Kinlan. Here we go. Hit start. Hit start again. Sam is in the blue hat. Kinlan's in red. So you want to try to kill the other player, get rid of their lives, or knock into them. Oh, okay. Kinlan's down to a blue. No, who's in it? I've already forgot. Red hat, blue hat. Someone's dead. Almost. Oh! Who lost a life? I say Sam lost a life. Kinlan's up a life. Alright. Kinlan's stalking him right now. Yep, let's go for the kill on that guy there. Okay, second round, here we go. Why does someone clap that? It's not hard to get past the first level. It's very simple. I'm kidding. I'm very surly from all these halls drops. Alright, oh, they're fighting up top. It's gonna be, one balloon's gone for Sam. Sam goes down again. I think Sam's down to his last life. No, you guys didn't know who's who. You guys are screaming in agony at the death. You're not even sure who's playing. Alright, well, someone's just knocking the balloon up the other guy. Someone lost a life. Who's dead here? Okay, so they're both down to their last life, I believe, right now. And then so one's down to the last balloon. Right here. They're both down to the last balloon. This is better than the playoffs. Okay, they're stalking him. Go down to the water, you get an extra life if you go to the water. Just hover over the water for a few seconds. Trust me, I would not. Oh, here comes the lightning. Lightning bolt. Oh, it's like, just missed there. Whoa. Someone's taken out there. All right. Sam wins. Give it up for Sam. Sam, if you like it, NES download Super. Here you go. Kinlan, my man. You're going to get bases loaded in the next playoffs. It's actually not a horrible game, but it's the most common ass game out there. Thanks for playing, Kinlan. We got time for one more play the Punk Challenge. And we all know what that's going to be. Because we all know how it ends. Always. Who has not asked the question yet, trying to get it, and wants to play?
Tom does.
One person has their hand up. Are you people that scared of this challenge? Come on up, that person. Yeah, you didn't have your hand up. No, that person. And then who else has not asked this question wants to play? I like you. Come on up. All right, come on up here. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, we all know what the last name is if you know anything about me. If not, I don't know why you're here. I originally did this at SGC 10 years ago. I heard a gasp in the audience. Like, oh my God. Okay, what's your name? Rosalind. Jake. Give it up for Rosalind and Jake. Rosalind, you player one. Rosalind, when you're ready, hit start. Oh, she doesn't know what the start button is. No, go right on O, and hit start. Or A, whatever. Okay, my bad, Rosalind. Rosalind versus Jake. Here we go, the Bubba Dead Last Challenge. Made famous by me, I guess. So Rosalind's in the nice blue shorts, and then, I'm sorry, what's your name again? I'm sick. Jake is in the burgundy pants. Did I get it right, the color?
Violet this time.
Or violet, whatever. Lavender, it's in the family. All right, Rosalind versus Jake. Rosalind is trying to kick, and so is Jake, and that's the strategy. You can punch, you can hand clap, you can do the infinite running combo that he hates when I do on him. And you know, you can do a running punch or running headbutt with a double tap, and that's basically the game. Oh, Rosalind kicking the rear. That was very, very. I mean, there's a strategy guy for this game. It'd be like 3 sentences. Hit the other guy, don't get hit. That's it. It's not that complex, but it's a bonus for Double Dragon. There's no 2-player regular game. It's only in this mode. They didn't have to do it, so you know, give us some credit. But why am I just talking about what the developers thinking at the time, 30 years ago? I don't know. All right, so I got a punch in from Jake there. Oh, a combo. Oh, a headbutt looked like from Rosalind. Don't mess with Rosalind on the street. Don't meet her. All right. Oh, come on. Okay, Rosalind's down to 1 bar of life. It's not over when you get to 0. Oh, a headbutt combo. All right. Oh, 2 kicks. We're at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. This week, we're having fun. Oh, double knockdown. Oh. It's not over yet. Oh, he pauses. Keep playing, Rosalind. Don't lose. I have faith in you. Come on. One more action karate champ. Oh, stay close. Come on. Jake versus Rosalind. Who wants it more? Who wants it more? Who wants it more? Who wants it more? Rosalind, would you like a Super Nintendo download or NES?
I'll take NES.
She'll take NES. Woo! I grew after my own heart. He goes there without an effort. You're gonna get a bubbled up Snake's Revenge.
I actually don't have this.
But there you go. All right, everyone. I'm sorry for my voice. Sounds like a husky. Be back in my booth at 1:55 in like 5 minutes. You want to say hi, hang out, talk to Ian. No, Ian's at a panel until 3. Come say hi. You don't want to talk to Ian anyway. Come to my panel and enjoy the rest of your PRGE.